All right, let's talk about one of the most important ideas in system design, knowing where to draw the line. Seriously, if you get this right, you're on your way to building a solid, resilient app. But if you get it wrong, well, you're basically building a ticking time bomb.
So what do you think it is? What's the absolute fastest way to take a project with tons of potential and just drive it straight into the ground? It's not what you'd expect. It's not a handful of bugs. It's not even what we'd call bad code. The single fastest way to destroy your app is having no clear boundaries. The real killer is way more fundamental than that. Yeah, let's call this what it is. The silent killer of software projects. Because you know what? Most systems don't die in some big dramatic crash. They just rot from the inside out.
And here's what that rot looks like in the real world. Your UI is talking directly to the database. Your payment logic is somehow tangled up with your new AI features. So you make one tiny, seemingly harmless change over here, and it causes a massive, catastrophic failure way over there. Your whole system is just a house of cards waiting for a breeze.
And this is what you end up with. It's a total mess of tangled dependencies that's impossible to debug and, honestly, terrifying to update. So, congratulations, you've successfully built spaghetti with Wi-Fi.
Let's pause for a second. Think about your own system. If an external service you depend on, say your payment provider, suddenly goes down or completely changes its API overnight, is your core app okay? Is it protected? Or does all that chaos just bleed right into the heart of your system?
So what's the solution? Well, it's powerful, but it's also really simple. You have to draw the line. You have to do it consciously, and you have to do it deliberately.
It really boils down to this one idea, knowing what you control versus what you just integrate with. Your business logic, your data, your permissions, that stuff is inside your castle. You own it. But things like email services, payment gateways, analytics providers, they're outside the walls. You don't control them, so you have to isolate them. And this is the goal. I mean, just look at a service like Stripe. They handle all the incredibly complex, messy parts of payments, and you just talk to them through a clean, stable API. If they decide to rewrite their entire backend tomorrow, your system doesn't know, and frankly, it doesn't care. Now, that is a strong, healthy boundary. Look, this isn't just some clever technique. This is a core part of what it means to have a senior engineering mindset. It's all about building for resilience from day one, not trying to clean up a huge mess later on. Before a single line of code gets written, this is the mental checklist that experienced developers are running through. They ask, okay, what do I fully control here? Then, what am I just plugging into? And maybe the most important question of all, what happens if that external thing just fails? What's the fallback? How does the system handle that gracefully without falling apart?
This really just says it all, doesn't it? A fragile system isn't an accident. It's the result of hundreds of tiny little decisions to let outside chaos seep into your core logic.
So here's the big takeaway. The absolute best time to think about boundaries is right at the very beginning. It's a simple act of architectural hygiene that will pay you back 1,000 times over in stability and scalability down the road. And hey, we're just getting started. In our next explainer, we're going to build on this idea and take a look at the next silent killer. What happens when a single part of your system tries to do way, way too much?